Thank you for joining me this episode on analyzing replays for some people. We're going to be reviewing Sneaker's replay. He is a platinum Rocket League player. He sent this in, and he doesn't really know if anyone's going to look at it, but this is from his team that he's in a league for. So he asked me to look and see what's really the core of what he's doing wrong. He doesn't know whether it's him being too passive or his teammates are his way too aggressive, and it's hard for him to play around. But overall, I think after taking a look, I can help him. So, when we're talking about your kickoff, I don't think this is a terrible kickoff, but obviously right here, you don't want to land so far forward. You should start that flip almost like instantly, because you don't want to land right into the ball, because if the opponent lands and flips into the ball, it's going to go off your head and it's going to go way back, and it could even go in. Other than the kickoff, good patience, good job collecting these boosts. I think you put yourself really far out of the play going for that 100. You didn't really need it. So you picked up this boost pad, you picked up this boost pad, and then you looked away from the play. The issue with that is both of your teammates are on the ball and they don't have possession. So then the ball, it's going to come your way, and now you're not looking. You have no idea what's going on now, other than like calm. So you switch back fairly quick, but now you have to make a play on the ball. And especially being in the plat level, these aerials are difficult. Right, so if you were a grand champ, like, yes, this is a difficult touch, but you could hit this touch and you could get to the right wall. But as of right now, this is a too difficult of an aerial to really go for at a plat level, which is why you had to bend over backwards to just get a touch onto it, and you couldn't place it where you wanted to. So your touch just dropped it right for him. Now you're just recovering for boost again. Your teammates are on each other, right? And I think this is what you were kind of nervous about. You said that they're basically ball chasers. They won't leave the ball alone. All right, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you see your teammates both on the ball, tell them in your comms. Tell them, I can't go because you are both up, and ignore this ball. It is so enticing to try to make a play and to score the ball when it's just such a good chance to just bang it onto the top of it. But it's risky, because if you backflipped here, but if you don't backflip, if you go up for this ball and you miss it, which it doesn't matter what level you are, you could still miss it. They have an open net to shoot on from across the field. You backflipped, and it actually, I will tell you that backflip actually helps you, because then you can just play defense. It was a good read on making sure to go over to that wall, right? It was a good job. You collected boosts on the way back. Really well done. Just need to work on reading it off the wall. Your teammates are still on top of each other. So now, yeah, sit at that back post. Good job. Let your teammate go up. He wants to go up. Let him go up, right? Nice. And close. Alright. So, right here, you have both of your teammates up, and one's going back, so you made the right decision to go up. And honestly, like, it's not even bad that you missed it. Oh well. Because you have one guy back, one guy forward, right? You had the people back. You don't need to turn on that ball. This is where comms are so important, right? Because when you're calling out comms, like right now, you should be like, all right, I'm getting back. Stick should be like, I'm gonna challenge. And once that happens, you should just be saying, I'm gonna leave it, or you should be saying, I'm going, and he should be saying, I got it. Because if you look at your turn and your hit, it's gonna be really difficult for you to drift, turn, and hit that with accuracy and power. Whereas he's coming from the goal, where it's just a straight shot. Wherever he needs to hit it, he has all the freedom to hit it. There's so much time. You didn't have to rush that, and plus, you look at your boost control here. You have no boost to work with. You had 20 boosts to turn hit it with, and you used all of it to do that. So I don't even think that's his fault. I think that sometimes you got to pick the battle, and you didn't pick the right one. Like right there, this isn't as risky of a play because you know you have a teammate literally sitting in your net right now. But you don't know that, because if you go to like just look around the map, like watch XP. Right, he wanted to go up with you. He started to. He turned back around because he was scared to go up with you. So you don't know where your teammate was, and that's something you'll find constantly happening. So I wouldn't have gone up to challenge when your teammate was sitting there on the ball trying to 50. Be patient, let plays develop, wait to find out where the play's going next and attack that. Because if you attack the exact same spot that your teammate's at, you have two players dedicated to such a small part of the map that nothing can get covered. You're then leaving your one man to cover the rest of the field, which is near impossible against three people. Like right there, like you rotated really well into the back post. You could have grabbed and not like one more boost pad because you had time. Like if you're looking at how you rotated back, good way to dash off the wall, pick up the boost pad to your left, pick up another boost pad, pick up the other boost pad to your left again, and you could have had 36 boost at back post, maybe even 48. Instead you have 12. And you go for the other boost pad, right? Should have grabbed that other boost pad, but you got another boost pad. You shouldn't be out this far, because now if they would have shot the ball on net, it's a goal. And you didn't pick up enough boost pads to go for that ball. So if you play this, if you would have just sat back post and let rotations take over, right? And this is a very safe rotation that I prefer to run, is where you take this back post and you saw stick turning right here, right? Let stick go and just stick back post, because now you're moving up. Stick moved up. XP is still on the ball, which he should be. That's his ball to stay onto. But you and stick both moved up. They can hit it over your head, right? Right now, you shouldn't even try to challenge. You should fake challenge that all day and let your teammate break up the pass, or break up his dribble. Because this right here, you have two teammates up. If you go for this challenge and you miss it, it's a goal, 100%. And just by doing what you did, you turned at him. If stick messes up this 50 and it goes over your head, it could still be a goal. So I want you to go look at your own replays with your team or whoever else. If you need me to come in and like sit down with your team and talk to you guys, I'll be more than willing to. But I want you to sit down with them and watch these replays, and don't say, well, we didn't get scored on, so it's fine, or we scored, so that play was great. Because a lot of times you'll find like there's chances where you should have gotten scored on if they would have had a better touch, or chances where you could have said, we might have scored, but we messed up so bad that it could have been a lot easier of a goal. Like right here, you saw your teammate was finally going back. Now you can challenge or fake challenge how you did and go for it. I heard your teammate behind you, which that's his fault. And I think that if you can work all that out in comms, and you guys can use replays like this to kind of tell each other, like, be courteous to your teammates. Let your teammates go for balls that are easier for them to go to. It's not about who has the best hit, it's about who has the easiest hit at the time. Because they tell you, like, if you go to play with people at lower ranks, they'll say, well, my hit was going to be a lot better than yours. And what people need to learn is the higher ranked you get, it's not really about who has the best hit at the time. It's about who can get to the ball first. And when it comes to plays like that, like, yes, I think your teammate could have had a better hit to the sidewall, but you didn't really have the time to slow play, right? Like right here, you fake challenge really well, and you can turn that instantly. Like, you don't have time to slow play and let him catch, because if this guy keeps following the ball, he could try to let it drop on him, and your teammate might get beat. So you had the right of way to go for it, and I think as a team, you need to talk about that kind of stuff, and that should be a calm saying like I'm staying on it, I'm staying on it, and things like that, right? Comms can be so important at a low rank because you can almost tell somebody how you want them to rotate. Like, you have a teammate demo, that is your ball to go for. Not a good hit. That one, not as much your ball to go for. Right? Like right here, you had a bad hit. And I guess right here, you have to accept that you made a bad hit. And look at your teammates. They're both coming up. You didn't really have to stay on the ball. You could have let the opponent just hit it to your teammate and said, whatever. Like, give Frosty that ball. You have two teammates running at the ball at this point. Like, look at your two teammates. They're ready to receive Frosty's ball. They're not ready for that pinch. Luckily, XP reacted, but then they're both, if you look where they're positioned, they're both on the same side of the field. Not a lot's going to get done if both of your teammates are right up each other's butt, you know? You tried to get back super fast. Yeah, I think you nicked him there. Once again, communication. Say right, like, honestly, I don't know why you went for the 100. You used every ounce of boost you had to try to beat your teammate to an 100 boost. Pick up the dang small boost. You were doing it. You picked up a small boost there, and you almost picked up another small boost, and you could have had 30 boost. Now you're at 0, and you have to make another play. Like, you see, it's a repeating issue of you keep picking up some small boosts and missing some other small boosts, and then you have to go for a play with no boost. Use those small boosts as a chance to path. It's like if you're doing a MOBA and you have to path a certain way, use those boost pads as the path, right? Obviously, it's super slow play. And if you watch, you had a teammate go back, so you know it's your chance to move up. You could have played it faster, and I don't think you have to because it's plat. I would have positioned a lot more like towards the center of the field because I would have been concerned for a pinch here, right? Because watch how he pinches this. Like, I think that's going to the middle of the field. I would not be pointing my card to the left because I have a teammate back. I would let the wall be a safety place, and I would let the middle of the field be a scoring opportunity. You got kind of lucky on how slow the bounce was going, but if I would have been going any faster, it would have just flown past the net and you wouldn't have scored. Does that make sense? Alright. Let's see the kickoff again. Alright, that one looked a lot better. I get maybe the diagonal position was just better for you. Platinum double touches, no big deal. Not a lot to go off of there. Like, I don't think that's that fast, but I think you have the right idea and to keep working on it. Okay, okay, you should have gotten scored on there. Notice how you're still not rotating on the boost pads. You're dependent. You're being so dependent on the hundreds. You got beat to this 100, and your next thought was, I'm going to go for that 100. But if you remember from kickoff, both of your teammates were back. So they went for the back boost. So it's not there. And you just kept driving. Like, you were so sure that wasn't in that you didn't even care that the ball was going towards your net. I would have stopped and I would have at least, at the minimum, backflipped at the ball. Not to mention the other guy was coming in for the ball, and he could have put that away if he was a little bit better. Or if he just got luckier. It's not even about skill. Sometimes it's about, man, I got really lucky on a pinch. So be thankful that was not a goal. You have a lot of moments right now where, Like, look, you have one teammate, it's going back. You should have jumped. And here's where it's hard for me as a Grand Champ to think in a Platinum's mind. Because I've seen you guys go out for some aerials that are really quick and good, and I see moments like this where I would have jumped literally right here. I would have started jumping. As soon as I saw it about to hit the wall, I would have started jumping to meet it at the wall. I wouldn't have waited for it to come down, because then you can't make any play on it. Alright, good job rotating to third man. Teammate got a good flick. Stay on third man. Okay, stick finally went back. You're playing really far forward, and you're forcing stick. So, like, depending on how much boost the stick have. He is at 0, right? But there's no boost pads on that route, so he shouldn't be rotating back that way unless he's going to go pick up boost pads. But he just goes straight for the 100, right? I think that's going to be an issue with all of you guys, is you're going straight for 100 boosts. Because it's the easiest way to do it. But if you really want to pick up speed and have the ability to do stuff, you're going to want to pick up a lot more boost pads. Like, that could have been a goal. You had a teammate on the ball. You didn't have to go for this. So, like, stick can try to follow that up. And when I'm talking about, like, follow it up, like, in comms, you should have been like, can you go for another? Or he could have been like, I'm going for 2. Something along the lines of that. Tell your teammates what you're trying to do, or tell your teammates what you would like them to try to do. That way, it could be more... You would at least expect him not to be there. Because now, he's still going for the ball. You've committed to the ball, but you both were smoked. There was no way you were ever going to beat him to that ball. And if that's a shot better, like higher to the right, that's a goal. Right? XP wouldn't have been able to react. You're really far out of the play with 33 boosts. Let's watch you pick up. You picked up 1, you picked up 2. So you missed one of them. You missed out on 12 boosts there, and then you boosted 18 at the 100. Which, yeah, I used the boost to get to the 100 at that point, but you missed out on 12 boosts that could have been the difference between a good hit and a bad hit there. Alright, let the ball bounce and follow it off. Ooh, okay. So, I was going to say, when you see the ball going at the wall like this, you know it's going to bounce outwards, so go ahead and start turning your car a little early. That's part of, like, getting used to reads, is knowing how far it's going to bounce out. But after that, instead of slowing down and just staying with it, you gave up on it. Like, you could have started turning there and been, like, meeting it. And I get it. Like, yeah, you want to turn because you're scared of that. But at that point, like, you could have stopped and you could have turned for the ball. Or your teammate could have gone for it faster. But there was miscommunication. So, like, good boost still there. But there's always going to be a but, right? Good boost still there. But you committed 2 people to one corner. Like, turn around. Leave. He's not passing you the ball. Turn around. Let your teammate grab that 100. You don't need it. You could have grabbed the mid boost. Because you left your teammate in a 1v2 on the defensive end. And I don't want to be bashing you, because I don't necessarily think one of you is the problem in this equation. I think as a team, there are things to work on with communication. There's things to work on with just figuring out where you want to be in the rotation. But as far as figuring things out, you all individually need to think, what can I do better in these situations? Because your teammates are going to do things wrong. You're at plat. Shoot, even if you get to Grand Champ, even if you become a pro, your teammates are going to mess up. And the best way to improve it as an individual is to say, what could I have done better? So when I'm pointing out Sneaker's mistakes, I could do the exact same thing for XP. I mean, like, I could do that for every single person in this game, not even just on your team. You could point out mistakes all day long and say, you could have done this better and it may have prevented that goal. And that is the most efficient way to improve, is to stop looking at, like, well, my teammates are too aggressive. Because, well, I do think, like, I think your teammates got better throughout the game. Beginning of the game, your teammates were right up on each other, and it made it to where, like, they were constantly double committing for a ball, leaving you on third man. And I think that you played very impatient, and you didn't want to stay third man that long. So eventually you would jump forward, try to make a play, they'd hit it past you, someone would have to make a good play on the defensive end. But I think we could have, but throughout the whole game, like the end of the game, they aren't really doing that too much anymore. And I don't think there's as many opportunities where you think you have to go up. I think you're finding a lot more opportunities later in the game where you're out of boost going for things, or you're low boost. Like, that's a communication issue. Most teams do left always goes. So, of course, you shouldn't be going right. You should have been cheating or going left. If you would have gone left, you would have had ball. Now you're at 0 boost, going for it. Like, common issue. It's not just about boost managing the boosting itself. It's about boost managing picking up boost. Right here, fake challenge. Don't go for it. Look how difficult of a situation. You could have gotten scored on there if he just booms the ball back in. Like, you guys are in a 2-to-1 situation. There's no reason to try to force a goal. Play it safe. Turn around. Okay, turn right. Keep going back. Let XP bump him. Let him take the offensive player off the ball so you can just play, and you can play safe. It's very safe. Like, yes, you guys almost got another score, but that doesn't do anything. If you get another score, it could solidify it, but if they score on you, it makes the game completely wide open. Alright. Put it down. Cool. Good game. Alright. So, if this video helped you at all, or, let me know if you want any more tips, or if you want me to help you with your team, let me know. I will put my Discord in the description below, and I'll put my social medias. Feel free to leave a like and subscribe to the page. I'll be doing more of these analysis videos on different ranks, different teams, things like that. And feel free to plus rep me on the Discord channel. And